By most measures, 2020 was not a good year. We had unprecedented wildfires, widespread civil unrest, extreme weather events, economic collapse, murder hornets, a once-in-a-lifetime global pandemic, and Venture Brothers was canceled. 2020 was bad, but it wasn't the worst year ever. After all, 1918 boasted not only a world war, but a global pandemic that killed around 100 million people. In 2002, American Idol premiered, and we haven't recovered since. See, 2020 doesn't seem so bad by comparison. So as we do with network television talent shows, let's make ourselves feel better by reveling in the misfortune of others. In this case, the misfortune of having been alive in 536 AD, the worst year ever. 1,500 years ago, most people were illiterate, and toilet paper had yet to be invented. This was a time period once referred to as the Dark Ages, but recently scholars have dropped the Dark Ages title in favor of less pejorative descriptions. But in 536, it actually was dark and cold. A Byzantine historian reported that the sun gave forth its light without brightness. The Syriac Orthodox Church reported that the sun was darkened for a year and a half. A Roman statesman said the same, and that it caused crops to fail. Crops also failed in Ireland. There was a drought in Peru. Mesoamerican civilizations collapsed due to famine and civil unrest. In China, it snowed in August. A mysterious dry fog stretched from Europe to the Middle East all the way to Asia. As the sun continued to be blotted out, global temperatures in the northern hemisphere dropped to their coldest in 2,000 years, cold enough to be designated a little ice age. Historians had long known this was a particularly literally dark episode in the time period formerly known as the Dark Ages, prompting medieval scholar Michael McCormick to call it the worst year to be alive. For years, scholars weren't sure if the historical accounts could be taken literally, but recent scientific findings have confirmed this. Tree ring analysis from Sweden to California to Chile have shown unusually stunted periods of growth during that time. A 2004 study speculated that an impact with a comet around a half a kilometer in diameter could have punched enough of the Earth's crust into the atmosphere to cause the global climate changes witnessed by the people of the time. But more recent research has pinpointed a more terrestrial culprit: volcanoes. Ice cores out of Greenland show unusual amounts of sulfate in the atmosphere of the time, and sulfates are produced by volcanic eruptions. Right around 536 AD, one or more large volcanic eruptions happened around the world. Where exactly is still up in the air, but a large enough eruption or a series of eruptions could have blocked out the sun for months, just as the historical accounts said. These ice cores also showed that around 640 AD, atmospheric lead levels began to rise, suggesting the production of silver currency had ramped up and the economies of the world had finally recovered. So the worst year ever turned into one of the worst centuries ever. Let's hope 2020 doesn't last that long too. Special thanks to our Patreon patrons. Without you, the good stuff just wouldn't happen. So if you like what we do here, go on over to patreon.com/thegoodstuff and become a supporter. Otherwise, you can like and subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video is coming out, and I'll be back in a couple weeks with a new video. Thanks for watching.